with another car buyer's guide. Today we have one of my favorite cars, even though it's pretty slept on. It is the original, the OG Mercedes-Benz CLS class. It's going to be the W219 here in America. It's weird, in Europe they call it the C219 because in Europe this is considered a four-door, four-seater coupe, but in America we use the sedan designation of W for W219. The car was the pioneer of the fastback slash slopey four-door sedan market. I don't know if you guys have played Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. Shout out to the real ones who played that game. This is where I got my first exposure to the CLS. It was just a great car in that game. And I remember looking so unique. Like, this line right here is just, so many automakers have copied this exact design. The models that followed the CLS that copied it the most, I guess because they were the ones that came right after the CLS was released, were the Volkswagen CC and the Porsche Panamera. I'll do videos on those too. We did a GTS video earlier, but the Porsche or the Volkswagen CC is a really nice car. You know, it's front wheel drive. It's not the most powerful, but it is really nice and has some good styling. But yeah, this car came in a lot of different forms in terms of global market. However, in the United States, we only got the CLS 500, the CLS 550, the CLS 55, and the CLS 63. Today, we are not going to be going over the AMG models. I will save that for a future video. We are going to be going over the standard models, the 500 and the 550. And I do believe these are really good cars to get simply because the value is there. They are the OG fastback sedan, as I mentioned before, and I do believe that they are reliable enough to be, you know, a good car to buy in the future in terms of if you're looking for something more considered like a classic. These 500s and 550s aren't, you know, basket cases like the V8 BMWs of the same era. They have some problems, obviously, but they're really not as bad. People just don't like the interior of this car. That's probably one of the low points of the car when compared to like other cars that in the same lineup, like the E-Class, for example, or the S-Class. The CLS had it carried the E-Class interior for a long time. Anyway, let's get on to the features, options, and problems for the Mercedes-Benz W219 or CLS class. So, oh wow, that's whoops, my bad. Wrong wrong sheet here. What's going on, man? Let's try this one more time. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. Let me do this one real quick. Let's see. Okay, cool. And all right, cool. Got all this ready. So for the CLS in America, it came out in 2006. Originally, the car came out in around 2003, 2004 for the rest of the world. But in America, it wasn't brought here until 2006 with a facelift in 2009. So it only came in the 500 and the 550, and they were basically the same trim level except different years. So 04 to 06. So basically, only for 1 year in the United States did we get the 500, and that's going to be the M113 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. It makes 302 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. And then from 07 to 10, it really should be, yeah, 07 to 10 is the 550, the M273, very, very recognized engine. Everyone loves the M273, the naturally aspirated 5.5 liter, making 382 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. Pretty potent engine. Yeah, as I mentioned before, they only came in the V8s for the USA, and they started off with fastback sedan wave, and they were followed by the CC and the Panamera. All CLSs had the 7-speed automatic here in the United States. with the exception of the CLS 55, which had the 5-speed automatic, which was only installed because it was able to handle the torque that the 55 made. Interestingly enough, the 55 actually makes less horsepower and more torque than the 63, which came later. But we're going to focus on the 550 and 500 for today. Good amount of options for these cars. For the first model year, 2005, 2006, they really didn't have any actual packages. However, after 2006, the packages were, or after 2006, 2007, the packages were introduced. We'll go over exactly what I'm talking about here. As the years went on, you'll see that the packages got reduced. So basically in 2005, there were no packages options. And then by the time of 2011, when they were wrapping up the model run, it was almost no options, no packages. Everything was pretty much standard. So it kind of was like on a sliding scale in between those years. So it went from having no packages, just options, to pretty much all packages, no options. And in between was a lot of different changes. However, we're going to focus on the main stuff. Let's see, where individual options. Just control bold. Yep, there we go. And these both. Okay, cool. So the packages we're going to be looking at for 2006 plus. I mean, this is 2006 plus in America, so this is really all we have to pay attention to is the AMG Sport package, the lighting package, the entertainment package, comfort package, premium package. The trim package is basically what trim you're going to get for the car. 2007 plus, they actually split up premium package into premium 1 and premium 2 package, which is interesting because on like a couple years later, I believe in 2009, when the car was facelifted, they made it back into one premium package. So just for these pre-facelift cars, you have this premium 1, premium 2, but after 2007, so it's only a couple years, you have the Graphite Edition and the Mystic White Edition. These are going to be special editions of the car that are considered trim packages. They're just like different interior colors, and options will be standard. And some additional or individual options that you should look out for, which will make or break your car, are Distronic Adaptive Cruise, Keyless Go, Electronic Trunk Closer, Heated Front Seats, Napa Leather, your choice of interior trim. The 6-disc changer, you don't really need it in this day and age, but the Command DVD nav-based system, or the Command Nav DVD-based system, is something you should get because it comes with a larger screen. Hands-free communication, not that necessary. Parktronic, yeah, I think you should get Parktronic. All these options, if you get them in your car, will just add to the value. And these are stuff people want to look for. So let's look at the brochures so we can get a feel of what the car was offered with. So what year is this? One's 08. Okay, this one's 06. There we go. So the first model year, we have 06. And some I'll point out the differences between the pre-facelift and the facelift as we get there. So this is going to be the 06 model. 06, 07, I don't, this might be a European spec. So it could be 06, 07. That's the thing with cars. It's like they're produced at the end of one model year and released at the beginning of another. But we'll just go over the packages they have here. So as we can see, the individual options I mentioned earlier, pretty much everything I said. Hey, shout out to you, Buns. Buns in the chat, always showing support. Shout out to Twitch. I'm glad it's working today. All right, man, let's get to it. All right, what else do we, yeah, I said everything here. Also, metallic paint is also an option you can have. And then for the options packages, as I mentioned before, we have the AMG Sport package, which comes with the AMG design lower bodywork, 4 staggered with 18-inch AMG double spoke wheels with high performance tires. And then you have steering wheel mounted shift buttons. They're not paddles, they are buttons. Pretty undesirable, but you know, it's better than nothing. We have the lighting package, which comes with bi-xenon low beam and high beam headlights with active curve illumination system, heated headlight washers. The CLS 500 adds quarter illuminating fog or front fog lamps. These are actually not available on the 55. That's why they say this. The entertainment package with Harman Kardon Logic 7 digital sound system. Yeah, so you want to get the entertainment package. This Harman Kardon Logic 7 is something you need. The comfort package, active ventilated front seats with heating feature, multi-contour front seats, power rear sunshade. The 55 adds some extra stuff, but yeah, comfort package also a necessary option. And premium package, as you can see in 2006, it was one premium package. This comes with heated and ventilated front seats, so it comes with the comfort package as well as the entertainment package, as well as the command system. So premium package is really what you should be looking for. Premium package, and then you can add the lighting package and AMG. trim package as well, but most of them have the trim package. As you can see, it's optional here, but what's the reference to 12? What does it say here? Not available in combination with AMG Sport Package. So if you get a trim package, you can't get the AMG Sport Package because it comes with its own trim. Cool. Let's look at the 2007. As you can see, the trim packages got more and the individual options got smaller. So we have the Premium 1 and Premium 2. Let's look at the difference between the two, just so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Premium 2 includes the Premium 1, but has the bi-xenon headlamps with active curb illumination, headlamp washers, and keyless go. So they added keyless go. I guess keyless go wasn't really a thing before this model year, and they put keyless go into Premium 2 package along with the bi-xenon headlamps and the headlamp washers. So basically they split up the Premium package into 1 and 2, and they made 2. The highlight of package 2 or Premium 2 package is the keyless go. So it's kind of a marketing gimmick there. And then you have the addition of the Xeno editions, Graphite edition and the Mystic White edition, just simply exclusive paint, exclusive interior trim. That's basically it. Man, that's a good question. I think the A7 would be a better value. Simply, you're getting a newer car. The CLS is more of like a classic Mercedes. If you want to look at it that way, it's like the older style of car. The A7 is the first step into that newer style of car. So if you're looking for a daily that is able to run cheaply, I say that you get an A7 simply because you'll have that newer technology as well as having a less thirsty engine. These cars, as I mentioned, only came with the V8 in the United States. So if you want to, like, if you're looking for something, I'd say with a little bit more class, you can get the Mercedes. But if you want something more practical, again, the A7 has a hatchback. You can fit a lot more stuff in it. I believe the CLS, despite it being a fastback coupe, does have a regular trunk. So the A7 is probably going to be more reliable, more practical. However, these CLS 500s and 550s are actually getting pretty cheap. So the A7 is going to be probably a little bit more expensive in the beginning. Cool. All right, let's look at the 2008. As you can see, this is when the 550 actually came out in 2007, but 2008 they changed up this stuff, the way their ad looked. And as you can see, the individual options even less. There's only 6. And then for the packages, you still have the Premium 1 and 2. So the packages stayed the same. And then for 2009, you can see the individual options went down to 2. And the Premium 1 package became the only premium package. I'll zoom in a little bit here. And then, Sport package, Premium package, Trim package, which isn't available with the Sport package. And then AMG Performance package. So as you can see, the packages really dwindled down. In 2010, only 2 options and only 3 packages. You can only get Sport package, AMG or Trim package, and Premium 1 package. They dropped the AMG package, just made it the Sport package. And then in 2011, we can see the complete absence of any packages. You just have the option or the Premium 1 package and then these 2 individual options. And I guess the AMG wheels and whatnot are just stuff you can option on the car. So as you guys can see, the options become very much non-existent as the model years go on. But we'll look at the colors real quick. In the beginning, they didn't really offer too many colors. Yeah, they didn't even show the colors on this one. Here we go. We got some colors and interior trim. Zoom out here. So look at this wide range of colors they offer for the Mercedes, all different shades of white, gray, and black. Yeah, it's pretty bad in terms of, they really didn't want these cars to stand out. And I mean, although they offered some better colors as the model years went on, it's like they had to realize that people actually wanted to, they bought this car like because it looked nice, not because they wanted to be subtle and subdued. So we can see the interior leather upholstery and trim options. These are all Xeno. Obviously, the Xeno is going to be more desirable. However, it's a lot rarer. It's harder to find. So we have the leather. We have black, cashmere, beige, sunset red, and ash. And then for wood trim, this is for the first model year. We have a high gloss laurel and matte burl walnut. Really, you can't go wrong with any of these interiors, except I'd say the ash, and the ash is probably the worst interior, with cashmere beige being second. I haven't seen too many red interiors. Mostly black, mostly beige. And then for the wood, these kind of look very similar. So you really have to pay attention. Yeah, let's move on to seeing some other colors. As we can see, in 2008, they added a green, they added a brown, and a blue, which is good. Here, it was pretty much all, this one looks kind of blue, but it's all basically white, gray, and black. And then we see in 2008, they added, as I mentioned, the blue, and these are the Xeno colors over here. See what they did in 2009. Well, this one isn't very comprehensive. Well, there's the paint. It's all pink, apparently. I'm not sure what happened here. Yeah, they blocked out the paint colors. But we'll look at 2010. So, in 2010, you can see they added a red. You have a blue, diamond white, flint gray. There's a green even. So they actually, you know, started experimenting with the colors, which is good. The interior wood trim, we have a black and a wood trim, pretty simple. And then interior upholstery, we have black, cashmere, and ash. They dropped the red. As I mentioned, I barely see any red ones. You think this car is a Barbie car? I think this car is a future classic, man. Especially the 55. But these 500s, they're sleepers. The V8s are nice. They're smooth and they're not that unreliable. And then for 2011, we can see the paintwork. Yeah, they have the red, blue, green, black, and then of course the different grays and silvers. No red upholstery, and then these two trims, just piano black and wood. Cool. Let's move on to the problems. There aren't that many problems. There are some things that are specific that have to do with the W219 in general, but most of the problems, I'm sorry, they have to do with the engines in like specifically, but most of the problems are going to be general CLS problems. So let's get these problems. Where are they at? So some of the problems with the CLS, the W219 platform, we have ESP malfunction, keyless go malfunction, window regulator failure. This is probably one of the bigger issues is windows in general. Speed sensitive, power steering malfunction. So your power steering, it's variable rack, it malfunctions, it leaks. Leaking door and window seals. Same thing with the sunroof, it leaks / rattles. You have issues with opening and closing the doors. This is a pillarless door. This car is pillarless doors. It is technically a coupe with pillarless doors. So the window actually has to come down and clear the door frame in order to open the door, and sometimes they don't come down as they should. Sometimes they come down way too far. Sometimes they don't come down at all. Sometimes they don't go back up after they come down. You just want to make sure the doors work good, all 4 of them. You have the SBC brake system failure. This was used on the earlier models up to 2006, 2007. So you have a 2008 or later, you shouldn't run into the SBC brake system failure, but this is an expensive thing. It's a very complicated electronically assisted brake system, and it fails. You also have air suspension failure. These cars come with coil suspension or air suspension, but most of them here in the United States came with air suspension. It's very rare to find a coil suspension CLS in the United States. But yeah, the air suspension failure, the ABC failure, you could either be the compressor, the height sensor, the shocks, the lines, anything really. You want to make sure that this ABC system is good on these mid-2000s Mercedes. And then for V8s, in particular, specifically the M273, but both V8s, as they got higher mileage, both had this issue of timing stretching. So the timing chain would become stretched and make the car fall out of time, as well as cylinder scoring on the higher mileage cars. The cylinder scoring is usually due to having dirty oil, like not really changing your oil that often. What's good, Bulldogs? Shout out to you, man. And rust. You want to check at the bottom of the doors, the bottom corners of the wheel wells. You want to check just the wheel arch in general, but most importantly, the bottoms of the doors, and then right like underneath these rocker panels, just like the lower parts of the car where cars can, where the water basically accumulates. Hey man, shout out to you, Bulldogs. It's the first time seeing you in the chat. Shout out to you, man. And then on the pre-facelift cars, you had failure with the command system. This could, there's many things. It's just literally because it's old technology. On the facelifted cars, so 2009 and newer, the command system was updated, so it's a little bit better. Excuse me. Cool. All right, now that we know about everything we need to look for, let's get on to the ads. We'll start off on Facebook. Here we have a 2006 Mercedes-Benz CLS 500. This is going to be the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. We can see that it has the gray interior with the light wood trim. You know, this is kind of like a spec that nobody wants. However, $7,500 for 68,000 miles, and it has a clean title. You can't really go wrong with something like this. Especially being the older 500. Obviously, it's not the best example because it's pre-facelift and it's the first model year that it was available in the United States. However, the 500s, you know, they're a little bit older technology, a little bit more, some people say reliable than the 550s. However, that's up for debate. People sometimes say the newer ones are more reliable. But as you can see, not that dirty of a car. I mean, it's not the cleanest car ever, but it only has 68,000 miles. So I would assume that the car should be worth a little bit more. Let's see what we're looking at here in terms of options. It doesn't look like it has the premium package. Yeah. Also, if you haven't noticed, the difference between the front facelift, I don't even know what I said, Buns. The facelift makes this grill into a 2-slot grill, and right now it's a 3-slot grill. And then the rear bumper changes as well. So for this one being a 2006, first model year available in the United States, it doesn't look like it has any type of special options in terms of the seats. And then the trim interior combo is not my favorite. I'd say for this one, I'd be around $6,000. Yeah, I think $7,500 isn't too far off for something like this. $6,000 for 68,000 miles wouldn't be too bad, although the trim package is not the best. Moving on, we have a silver car. We can see it is a black interior with this the matte wood trim. Clean title. Let's see what he has to say. The price listed is the final price. Please don't take up my time and then offer me 2 to 3K less. I don't need to sell. Interior is brand new, 3 new air shocks, 1 in 2021 and 1 in 2022. New battery, fresh oil change, new air filters, title in hand. I personally have 4 vehicles and I'm selling this one as it never gets driven. This appears to be the lowest price CLS 500 for the miles and in the country on AutoTrader at this time. $7,750. Well, it's not the cheapest one. This one was $7,500. 78,000 miles. I do like this car a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. He even has the book in here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we can see it has the air suspension. Again, as I mentioned, most of these had air suspension. Yeah, for this one, $7,750, 2006. I like this trim package a lot better. It is black with the wood instead of tan. That would add some value for me. $7,750. He says he's not gonna budge. I don't want to pay $7,750. I'd be around the $6,500. Maybe like, yeah, I could do $6,500 for something like this, but $7,750 is way too high. $6,500 would be the max, and that would be with a book of receipts. I need some maintenance to go along with that. I wouldn't really want to like risk a 2006 like that. Cool. Let's see if we can find any other cooler. Again, as I mentioned before, all these cars pretty much are optioned the same. They're hard to find like nice ones. A lot of people, if they wanted a nice example of the CLS, they'll get an AMG. So it's really hard to find a really specced out car. However, there are a few. As we can see with this one, it's 2009's facelifted car. You can see it has a new steering wheel. The interior changes slightly, but you know, it doesn't change completely. You can see the door cards and everything are pretty much the same. Same thing with the gauge cluster and the center console. Pretty much the same. Facelift and pre-facelift, the exterior just changed a little bit, and obviously there was an engine update. However, if you notice that there are facelifted cars with the pre-facelift cars with the 550. It didn't change the engine when they facelifted. They had pre-facelift 550s and facelift 550s. The 500 was only in 2006. So we have this black car, 2009. So it's going to be a facelift, as I mentioned before. You can also tell it's a facelift because it has the square exhaust on the bottom, but it doesn't look like it has the sport package or anything like that. 124K miles. Runs and drives great. Perfect. Navigation, heated seats, sunroof, asking only 7,900 OBO. Okay, cool. So, I mean, The other one was a 2006, asking about the same price. This one's a 09. Obviously, this one has a lot more miles. However, the spec is pretty good. It has the gloss wood trim, as you can tell. Also has a nav. The seats are pretty much standard seats. Yeah, not really too much going on here. As I mentioned before, a lot of these are going to be spec'd the same. You just want to make sure that it has keyless go if it is a 2007 plus, which they should, because most of them are 500s or 550s. Cool. I'd say for this one, I'd be around, this is a 2009, so I'll be willing to pay a little bit more. However, the mileage is double, so I'd still be around 6,500 for this one, simply because it has so many miles. Here we have a silver car. This one has the sport package, or the AMG package. You can tell by this sport bumper in the rear, as well as the sport clip in the front. This is a 2009 car. However, they have a different grille. This car has a clean title, but it looks like it's been in an accident, which is unfortunate. It has a clean Florida title, so you really don't know what Florida title, like what that means. In Florida, like anything can go. So let's see what he has to say. Clean Florida title, CLS 550 AMG. Well, it's not an AMG, sir. It has a sport package, maybe an AMG package depending on the year, but this is not an AMG. Don't be this guy if you're listing your car and it's not an AMG. 5.5 liter V8, 400 horsepower engine. Doesn't have 400 horsepower either. It's close, but it's not there. Automatic transmission, runs and drives amazing and comfortable. AMG package, front and rear parking sensors, heating, cool seats, paddle shifter, sunroof, keyless entry, keyless start, Bose surround system, navigation, Bluetooth, super clean interior. This is a 2009. It has the Bose system. That means it has the standard system, so it doesn't even have the upgraded system. We have new motor mounts, new transmission mounts, oil filter and fresh oil and filter, new engine air filter, tires and brakes in great condition. This car has no mechanical issues, no water leaks, no oil leaks. Everything works as it should with zero issues. No check engine light. So besides the fact that this car has been in a minor front end accident, it seems to be in good mechanical shape. However, it does look a little rough. You can see that you have some dents in the rear as well as the car being looking slightly lower than normal, but that might be due to the fact that it has a sport package. We can see it is the gray interior car with the wood trim. Not a fan of the gray at all. However, that is subjective. We could see that, you know, there's nothing really, no option standing out besides having nav, keyless start, which is cool. Keyless go is cool because it gives you a button on top of the shifter like a fighter jet to start the car. That's probably one of the only cool things about it. Non-smoker. This is good. New motor mounts and new transmission mounts are good. For something like this, older V8s, you're going to have a little bit more torque and going to put the chassis and the mounts in a little bit more stressful situations. So having new motor mounts and transmission mounts is a good thing. Fresh oil and filter is whatever. New engine air filter is whatever. Tires and brakes in great condition is whatever. They don't really say when they've been changed last. However, this is a 2009, so facelift car with 123,000 miles and the AMG package. Pretty well optioned for this car. AMG package is always a good thing to have on the CLS. I'd say for this being an AMG package, 123,000 miles, I'd be willing to go up to 7,200 for this car. 7,200, and I need a stack of receipts about everything maintenance, because the exterior, actually no, I'm sorry, 7,200 for a car without these dents would be fine, but we have the whole front end's messed up and the rear's messed up. I'd say $6,000 for something like this, just simply because this isn't even the stock grille. As I mentioned before, the facelifted cars have a 2-slot grille. This is a 3-slot grille and it doesn't even fit. Like you can tell they bent it to fit in there. Not really sure what's going on here, but it can't be good. So $6,000 for this car, simply because of all the accidents it has. It has a clean title, but it's clearly been in some sort of fender bender. And then finally, we have a 2011 CLS 550. This is going to be, it looks like an AMG package car or sport package, because it is a 2011, so they didn't have the AMG package. What do they have to say? It's 2011 CLS 550, 88K original miles, clean title, runs and drives great, has no issues at all. AC, heat, radio, heated seats, all work. Perfect. That's what I want to know. Great. Has a sunroof and a parking sensors as well. The only thing that needs replacing is the front windshield. Has a crack. Other than that, it's a great car and runs and drives great. Asking 10.7 OBO. Okay, let's take a look at what he's talking about here. We got a cashmere. This is the tan beige interior. You know, it looks okay, I guess. The wheel is leather matched, which is, I guess, kind of cool. It's one tone, which is unique. Keyless go. It is a 2011, so it should have most of these options standard. We can see the crack right here. You're gonna have to get a new windshield. Something that you have to remember when you're getting new windshields like these, if the car is like anything fancy, like I'm talking Toyota, I'm not talking Nissan or Honda or something. If you're getting a German car where they have cameras and sensors in your windshield, they're going to charge you like 4 times the price to change your windshield. So just keep that in mind. They say it just needs a crack, but you have to wonder, why didn't they fix the crack? It probably will cost a lot more than you expect to fix this particular windshield. Other than that, it has the parking sensors. It has doesn't really say anything else besides parking sensors. Let's see about the speaker system. Can't really tell in these cars what speaker system it has, but it is black on tan. Not the most undesirable spec, but not the most desirable either. I'd say because of the cracked windshield, because of the overall cosmetic condition, as we can tell, this guy has had he has really greasy elbows. I don't know, destroyed the center console. The interior of this car isn't in the best condition, but that's also because it is a tan interior. Those show damage and wear a lot more. Yep, also looks like an AMG. Yeah, I said that earlier. However, it is D-badge. I don't really like that either. The D-badge car could also mean that it was repainted. Yeah, something about this rear end doesn't look completely right. Maybe this exhaust is sticking out too far. I can't tell, but it has no badges. So, yeah, he really did. You know, some things happen in this car, especially in the back seat. But yeah, they're probably crawling all over that center console and everything. That's why it looks like that. Gross. Anyway, for this, I'd say it's a 2011, so that has something going for it because it is a final model year car. It is sport package, however, it looks very rough and it doesn't have the best interior spec. I'd say for this, I'd be willing to pay $8 grand. I don't want to go over like 8,500 simply because I don't know how much that windshield is going to cost. Oh, Buns, you're a girl? I didn't know that. I thought she was a dude. What's up, Buns? That's why I was like, that's a pretty sus name you got there. But if you're a girl, I guess that's cool. Hey, shout out to the girls because girls don't watch this shit. So anyway, back to this. I'd say for this, $8 grand. Moving on to Auto Trader, we have our first example. This is going to be a 2006 500. As you can tell, in black with, it looks like a black interior. Scrolling down, we can see that it is a sport package, as well as also having that black interior with the light wood trim. This is going to be that matte wood. What else can we see in here? Not really too many interior pictures. Let's get pictures of the door cards and whatnot. 114,000 miles, or 114,000 miles. Pre-facelift car. This is the first model year, as you can see, not fully loaded. We can't even see if it has keyless go or not. I don't think it did. Oh, maybe it did because it is 2006. But yeah, we see the keyless go button here. What do I have to say about it? Nothing. Cool. I'll get the slap for that because yeah, these descriptions are horrible. What would I pay for this? They want $7,777, 114,000 miles, black on black car, so it has something going for it. It looks very clean. The body doesn't have any major dings or anything. This door is open. Not sure they just left it open because they were taking pictures. They didn't want it to close all the way, but black on black, looks very clean, has a spare. So you can tell this car has been taken care of. Something like this, I would want to make sure that it has all the paperwork. I wouldn't want to buy anything like this that hasn't been serviced anywhere reputable. It's so clean that I would assume that it's been taken care of well. As I mentioned before, has the sport package, black on black. The thing is, I can't tell. It has keyless go. The thing about these CLS is I can't see like what packages these cars have. And I can't see the things on the door for this one. They're covering up the switches, so I can't tell. Yeah. So it has some seat options because it has a lumbar. You can see the lumbar buttons. This car, you know, it has something going for it. It is a nice spec for being a first model year. However, 7777 is way too much that I pay for it. I think for a first model year with 114,000 miles, I'd be more around the 58 to $6 grand mark. Granted, this is a nice spec, sport package back on black, but $6 grand is where I'd be at. It has a ton of miles, not a ton, but it has a good amount of miles, and it is a first model year. Moving on, we have a 2007. This is the CLS 550. You can see that they tinted the tail lights, so that's already a bad sign. It has a little spoiler on it. Spoiler doesn't look too bad. We have a black interior with the dark wood. I do like this, and it also has nav, as well as it looks like Let's see the shifter. Oh, they don't really show it. It has the rear climate control as well. So premium package. Yeah, I mean this car is premium package, 2007 CLS 550. First year of the 550. I wouldn't recommend getting the first year of anything. So this is going to probably be the most problematic example of a 550. Though, as I mentioned before, these cars aren't too problematic. What do they have to say? Selling my 2007 CLS class. Please contact me with any questions. Yeah, that's a great description you have there, bud. Yeah, this car, I mean, it has some stuff going for it. Sport package. It has the black interior, same thing as the other car we looked at earlier, except it has a dark wood trim. I do like the dark wood over the light wood, as well as being a 550 over the 500. As I mentioned before, premium package. It has everything we can see, as well as you see the door. You can see it has memory and everything. So what would I pay for this? It's 9,600 bucks. It has 113,000 miles. It's 2007. It looks like it's fully loaded. Sport package, premium, all the options as nav. Keyless go. I'd say for this, I'd be willing to pay 96 is kind of a lot for a 2007. It's not even facelifted. I'd say for this, I'd be willing to pay 7,600 bucks. I'm going to go $2,000 less than this one. 7,600 for a nicely spec 2007 550, though it is the first year of the 550. It is one of the better specs we looked at today. Here we have a 2008, so 1 year before facelift, still a pre-facelift car, but this is a gray car. We barely see any cars that aren't black or white, and this one is gray with the black interior as well as the wood trim. You can see it also has, what else does it have? Has the AMG pack, as you could tell by the lower bumper, front and rear end, because they put an AMG badge on it. See what they have to say. Ooh, okay, I like this, the length. Let's see if it's actually, yeah, the descriptions usually suck on these cars, but not this one. This one, I had to make this a black background so I could read the text. I need to fix that. Anyway, we'll read this one. We'll skim through it. Let's see if this is written by ChatGPT or not. Okay, so 2008 CLS 550, just 100,000 miles. Garage kept, which is good. Serviced by MB Elite in Newport Beach. Never involved in an accident. Clean title. No leaks. No check engine light. Runs like a dream. Why? You'll love it. Unmatched elegance. The CLS 550 is a symbol of redefined luxury. Its sleek four-door coupe design turns heads wherever you go. Unbeatable performance. Equipped with a powerful V8. This is beatable performance, by the way. There is an AMG version, so this is not unbeatable. This car delivers a thrilling driving experience while maintaining a smooth, comfortable ride. Oh, sure, I guess so. Low mileage with only 100,000 miles. That is not low mileage, sir. That is 6 figures. Plenty of life in it. Maybe 50 grand before you got to do a major overhaul. Yes. Depends on how good you've taken care of the car. Peace of mind. A clean title and no history of accident. I don't know if a mid-2000s Mercedes V8 is peace of mind. However, you know, it's more reliable than the BMW I mentioned. Stylish interior. The interior is not that stylish. The price. I've priced this at 10.2. It's fairly for its condition and low mileage. Lowball offers will be respectfully ignored, as I know the incredible value that this car offers. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of automotive excellence. Does he have a Carfax? I don't see a free auto check report. Let's see what the auto check has to say. Okay, 3 owners. And so he bought it 2014. Okay, so this guy's had it for a little while. I'm trying to see when it was listed for sale. But yeah, it doesn't have anything where it says it was registered or offered for sale. So we'll just keep moving on. This car might have been for sale for a while. 100,000 miles, but they want 10.2. It is not a facelift, so 10.2, sir, is way too high. I'd say for a pre-facelift, being that you have 100,000 miles and it's been exclusively serviced at Newport Beach Mercedes. I don't know if that's just by you or, excuse me, throughout his whole life. I'd say for this one, 2008, I'd be willing to pay you know, probably up to around 8 grand. I don't want to really go over 8 grand because it is a pre-facelift car and it has 100,000 miles. Cool. Here we have a nice example, 2009. Not too many pictures, but it is a very clean car. Hey, AMG package, no interior pictures. However, the interior is black, as it says here. Anything in the description? Nothing. Horrible ad. I don't even know why I put this up here for real. 10.9 they're asking, 106,000 miles. It is facelift, so they can ask a little bit more. However, I wouldn't really want to go above 8,700 bucks for something like this, simply because there is no information. 8,700 bucks. Here's another one for you. Cool. All right, moving on. We have a 2011 final model year, and look at the price. They want 21.5 for this, which is a lot of money. But let's see what they have to say. Black car, sport package, as you can tell, because of the lower bumpers. This big black plastic piece is how you can tell if it's sport. Seats, everything looks pretty normal in here. 58,000 miles, very clean. Keyless go, nav, sunroof. Has the rear power sunshade. Yeah, I mean, it's a very clean car. 58,000 miles, looks like it's pretty much fully loaded. But for 21.5, no thanks. I'd say for something like this, 2011 with 58,000 miles, I'd be around maybe the $14,000 mark, simply because last model year and one of the best examples. However, 21.4 is just way too much. 13-14 is where I'd be at. Do they even say anything? Nope. The envy of onlookers. This is only something if you know what it is. Most enthusiasts are going to go for the 63. However, if you want to get a classic car that doesn't have the upkeep and maintenance of an AMG, but will still be a nice car, I suggest getting something like this, a last model year sport package with a good trim spec. Moving on to Car Gurus, we have our first example in this like blue-green type color. I thought it was pretty cool. That's the only reason why. It's like a gray-green, but a very rare color. You really don't see any. Interior on this car looks horrendous. This wheel specifically looks like the guy's hands melted on it. I wouldn't even want to touch this wheel, honestly. This guy would have to clean it. It looks pretty gross. But the rest of the car looks all right. You got a tear in the rear seat. That's unfortunate. These seats actually hold up pretty well when compared to like other cars. These interiors look pretty nice after a lot of miles. However, this one has seen better days. You can see rusty rotor hubs. The car just needs some TLC. What are they asking for it? 79.95, 8 grand, 105,000 miles. Way too much, man. This car is dirty. It's the first model year. It has 105,000 miles. I'd be around 5,500 for this, maybe 5 grand because of the tear. 5 grand for this, you know, I could do with. The thing is that this probably has ABC problems, everything. You're gonna have to really try to narrow down what exactly is wrong with this car, because you don't want to be in over your head. Yeah, 5,500 bucks for something like this. Moving on, we have a 2009 in this burgundy color. I like this red with the tan interior. This is the only time the tan interior is acceptable is with the there's someone outside my window. Oh, interesting. Okay, anyway, so yep, in this burgundy with the tan, one of the only times where this tan is actually appropriate. As we can see, this has you know, standard features. We can also see there's no climate control. Oh, there is back there. Let me stop lying. Yeah, tan car, dark wood trim. I do like the dark wood. If you were gonna get a tan car, I suggest getting dark wood. And the tan or burgundy on tan with dark wood is actually the best way to go if you're getting something like this. You can tell, you know, the parts and pieces that usually show wear and tear look very clean. This car interior is very clean in general. It has keyless go, has the air suspension. Pretty much fully loaded car. Let's see what they're asking. 8,995, so 9 grand. It is a 2009, so you're getting a facelifted car with 94,000 miles. I'd say if you could get this for in the sevens for a facelifted car with less than 100,000 miles, if you could get it 7 grand flat. This spec specifically looks really nice. I'm not usually a fan of red cars. However, this one looks really clean. It's AMG Sport package as well. All you got to do is maybe clean up those headlights a little bit. Maybe realign this hood. I don't know what's wrong with the hood alignment. But if you get those little things fixed, This car is actually super clean. I also try to find those floor mats too. I don't know where they went. But yeah, very clean example. Pleasantly surprised by this one. If you get it for $7 grand, that would be really nice. Here we have a 2007 going backwards in Honolulu, so you're gonna have to pay money to get that shipped out here anyway. 9,900 bucks, 101,000 miles for a gray car. It also has the chrome wheels. I don't really see these chrome AMG wheels, but I digress. It is a sport package, gray on black with the dark wood interior. As I mentioned, pre-facelift car. You can tell by the grille as well as the steering wheel. Anything really cosmetically wrong with the car? Not really. Interior looks pretty cool, or pretty clean. The seats have a little bit of wear and tear on them, but nothing too bad. Yeah, just a regular black with the dark wood interior. Nothing too fancy here, except for these wheels. They're pretty fancy. This color is that brown gray. Pretty rare color. Not a bad color to have. So 2007, 101,000 miles. They want 9,900 bucks for this. Nope, you're not gonna get 9,900 bucks. You're probably gonna get closer to around 6,500 to 7 for this one. It is sport package. It is 2007, but yeah, 6,500, 7, maybe 72 max or something like this. Yeah, 72 max. Moving on back to a facelift car. We have a CLS 550 facelift, but it's not sport package, as you can tell by the square exhaust as well as the normal front fascia. Black car with a black interior with the dark wood trim. Facelift car. It has an aftermarket stereo. Yeah, looks like it has pretty much all the options. Nothing fancy here. Has the mats in the trunk. Okay, cool. 2009 facelift car, 129,000 miles, a little bit high in terms of mileage, but 9,900 bucks. I'd say for a 130,000 mile car, I'd be willing to go up to probably 8,200 bucks. It is a facelifted car, and it is in a nice spec, black on black, not sport package. So maybe I'd go back down to like 8,000. I wouldn't want to go above 8,000 unless it had a sport package. $8,000 for this 2009 CLS 550. And moving on to our final ad, we have a 2011 final model year in gray sport package. What's the interior spec look like? Black interior with the dark wood trim, keyless go. Looks like it's pretty much fully loaded, no blank oh, yeah, we got some blank switches, but not a lot of these cars actually came with some blank switches because they weren't 63s or 55s. But overall, very clean interior. It is a 2011, so I expect nothing less. Last model year of the car, 15.9. They're asking. Let's see if they say anything. Finance. Okay. Oh man, why do they always do this? This is like a horrible. Like, if we'll just copy and paste every year since 1980. Like, who writes this? Do people even speak English that write these? They just copy and paste it from somewhere. This sales price expires the next day of the ad. What does that mean? This stuff has nothing to do with the car. Wow, it has an active charcoal filter, y'all. That's the first thing you write about a CLS 550 is the type of filter you put in. Yeah, horrible. Let's see. 2011, 89,000 miles, so a good amount of miles, not 100,000 miles, and it's a 2011. I'd say for this, I'd be willing to go up to 12. Actually, hold on. Yeah, 12. I don't want to go over 12. It does look like it has an aftermarket exhaust, so you know it sounds pretty good. 12 grand is the max I go because it's almost 90,000 miles. 12 grand. So as I mentioned before, this car didn't really come in too many different options packages. It really is all based on color and engine option. You really can't go wrong with this car though. That's the good part about it not being too varied and them offering most of the packages pretty much standard in the United States. You want to make sure that you get a premium package. You want to make sure that you get the AMG package. Those two things together are really just going to make the car, it's going to make it a lot more easier to sell. People are looking for that sport package. You know, if people had the choice of getting a sporty car or a boring car, they want to get a sporty car, but they don't really care about how it drives. Yeah. So This car is very classic. It is like the interior. That's the part that blows me the most about this car is the interior. Like this is a 2011 with the mid 2000s Mercedes style interior, especially these gauges. This car is definitely a classic and simple. Yeah, so look out for, in terms of years, don't get a 2006 because it is going to be the least reliable and it's going to be a 500. If you're wanting to get a 500 specifically because you want that engine, I suggest getting the nicest 2006 you can find and negotiating there. You can use that 2006 year to your advantage because it is the first model year available in the United States. However, I do recommend you get a 550. You're just going to have a newer car with a lot more power. It's almost 100 more horsepower than the 500, like 70 or 80 more horsepower. And you can still get a pre-facelift 550, meaning that you can kind of cash in and get that cheaper deal without really paying more for that power because it's still a pre-facelift car. The facelift cars is when the price jumps up a little bit. I'd say if you want a facelift car, you know, you can get a first model year facelift car. There's going to be the most common. As the years went on, 2010, 2011, they made a whole lot less of these. You'll also find that there aren't that many for sale. I think on Car Guru's total, in terms of CLSs, let's see how many there are for sale. There's only 60 for sale in the country. Non-AMG first OG w219 CLSs. You definitely want to make sure that if you get a 2009 or 2010 that you know, they're going to be the prices for those are going to be a lot more because of the rarity, so you don't want to pay too much if you get a 2009 or 2010, 2011. However, if you do want a facelift, you know, I do recommend getting a 2009 simply because the value will be there. You'll get the facelifted body as well as having an upgraded engine because they upgraded it 2 years prior. So yeah, 2009 will be my ideal year because I do like that 3-spoke steering wheel on the inside, and you get a lot more option standard the later you go into the model run. The 2009 would be my optimal one. But 2006 is also pretty optimal in my opinion because although it was the first model year of the CLS in the United States, the CLS was actually out for a couple years prior in other markets such as Europe. And so most of the kinks have been worked out prior to it arriving in the United States, which is probably why they announced it later, so they could go through the kinks. So you won't really go wrong with getting a 500 or a 2006 model. I just highly suggest that you get one with sport package and get one with all the premium options you can, just that way, because with resale with the 2006 it's going to be the least desirable in terms of resale. It's going to command the lowest price, so you want to make sure you take advantage of getting as many options as possible. Cool. So yeah, I'd recommend 2006 or 2009, either or, and I wouldn't recommend getting a tan or a gray interior. I recommend getting black, but that again is all subjective. Cool. That about wraps it up for today. I don't know what car I'm gonna do tomorrow. If anyone watching has any suggestions on what car you want to see tomorrow, you can leave them in the comments. Let's see. I got a whole long list. I'm trying to do regular cars this week. We'll get back into some cooler. You can't even see this because it's white, but I got a huge board that you can't read because it is white, but it has a big list of things on it. Let's see. I don't know what car I want to do tomorrow. I want to do something cool, but it has to have good value. Yeah, I don't know. You guys will get a surprise tomorrow. I don't feel like deciding right now what car I want. Maybe I'll get some comments later today and I can go off of those. But that wraps up the buyer's guide for the OG Mercedes CLS, one with a better design. You really think this car is ugly? I think it'll grow on you. This car is timeless in terms of its design, and we don't want to see the OG cars. Okay, I mean, I get it. I'll do a cool car tomorrow. Yeah, I'm tired of looking at the riding dirty. All right, what's your favorite car, Buns? How about that? How about you tell me what car you like? That way we can get some ideas going here. Yeah, we'll figure it out. The thing is, like, I know people want to see these cars, the cool cars, but I'm wondering if like people actually find it valuable, or Like, we'll help them actually get it, because a lot of people can't afford these cool cars. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The Audi yesterday was okay. Well, you know, the Audis, I guess, yeah, the Audi does look way better than the CLS. You know what? I'm gonna do the Maserati Quattroporte tomorrow. Yeah, throw them in the Discord. That'll be good. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you don't have a better idea, I'm doing the Maserati Quattroporte tomorrow. Yeah, I will see you guys then. As always, have a great rest of your Thursday. And be safe, be easy, and have a good one. See you tomorrow.